negative and the positive, but overall, I mean, I definitely see some entertaining games coming. I
So it
love.
looks like we are gonna go into that winners match and see Semper versus Game Time. I'm really
All right.
excited to see this series.
I think game time's gonna be a little bit more unconventional here for the matchup against another GM Terran.
I think he has to. I mean, they're both GM, but I would definitely argue that Semper is a little bit more experienced in
Yeah.
higher levels of StarCraft. Um, not taking anything away from Game Time. He just hasn't had anywhere near the exposure that Semper's been getting recently.
Yeah.
So he's definitely probably going into this thinking he's a bit of an underdog. But
But he's the
I,
GM. He can definitely
I
put it
believe.
together. He probably prepared heavily for this because as in the RSL, you have the similar to the GSL, you have the group stages. So we knew he was going to play in advance. So I'm sure he did a lot of preparation. Had to work on a lot of builds that might catch Semper off guard here, especially since it's an all TVZ group. I mean, at worst he would play ZVZ, but besides that, he kind of knew that he was at least facing one Terran. So I'm sure he's been doing plenty of ZVT in preparation.
And if there was any specific practice going on, I mean, I'm sure they'd just be practicing for the player of their own league.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably
undoubtedly.
not crazy amounts of preparation for playing versus a diamond, but we're gonna get into this first game on Catalina. See what see how this game plays out. We got spawning in the 1 o'clock position. We have the red Terran. Taking that last series pretty convincingly. It is Semper.
All right. And in our mid left position here, say it's about 9, 10 o'clock, we have our GM Zerg, Game Time, also took his series 2-0 very convincingly with that Roach heavy style, showing how the meta in ZVT has switched over the years from Ling Bane rather, to some Roach heavy openings to try and punish the greed of a Reaper opening. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for this game, and I can't wait.
So I'm curious to see if Semper is going to go for that 11 racks, 11 gas again, versus someone who's GM because it is cutting some economy. So I'm wondering if he just did that to be safe, or if that's actually how he plays TVZ. If he just loves that early Reaper, loves the early scouting, and it
Yeah,
looks like it
looks like
is.
it. Yeah, same build. Semper playing a similar style here, switching nothing up. I honestly like this though because you can play it perfectly, and against a GM, why not do something that you're very familiar with?
Yeah,
Someone your caliber, you don't want to screw anything up. You don't want to just do anything out of the blue. Then you don't have your timings down. Everything's not correct. But looks like another early Reaper and hatch first for game time over here. So he's not doing anything too crazy. Looks like he's confident in his macro skills here.
so he's actually going up to 16 supply in drones. He's being a little bit greedy here. If he goes, we're gonna see if he goes for a gas first. It looks like a pool before gas, which is gonna put him in a good spot because game time is going for multiple reapers. So if you delay that pool too much, you can just kind of be in a really bad spot for this reaper harass.
I think game time's actually going to arrive before any lings or queens out, and he might potentially be able to get one or two drone kills if game time's not on top of turning his drones into spores and spines and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be a pretty big window for where game time is only going to have drones to micro against this reaper.
Yeah, it looks like he's about roughly 15 seconds ahead of the spawning pool here with the Reaper, and it's going to make its way across the map. And the big thing to tell is whether game time's going to make drones when the spawning pool finishes or Zerglings. It looks like he's going to make one queen and two Zerglings. Oh, four Zerglings rather, and two queens, which
Mm-hmm.
is I think is a very smart decision here.
He
A
actually saves that
nice,
drone,
yeah,
but I
beautiful.
think
It's very
the
low health
SCV.
drone, but I think it's going to die anyway. It gets canceled.
I didn't know that an SCV and a reaper could focus down a building
Yeah,
spore or spine if you
today I
attack it
learned, yeah,
immediately.
me as well.
Yeah,
This
I
Reaper
knew
is
two
doing
reapers could.
already got his cost efficiency out, and this looks like three Reapers here. Semper is really small in the blood. He's going to keep producing Reapers, see how much damage he can do, and uh, how much he can set game time off his game. No pun intended. But I really like this opener by Semper. I mean, things like this is just so annoying as a player to just try and fend her off, and you know more Reapers are going to be coming after this. Looks like he
Mm-hmm.
stops at a total of 3 Reapers here.
But game time is gasless behind all of this. There has not been one extractor taken, so he's going to be dealing with this with just queens for a while. Queens and slowlings,
Yeah,
but
that's a great
slowlings
point,
don't do a whole
honestly.
lot.
Exactly. Slowlings are almost fodder for, buying time so the Reapers can't just snipe your drones.
Yeah,
And these 3 Reapers are
exactly.
gonna beautiful micro pulling that back. And it looks like he's gonna lose nothing here, not making the mistake he made in the first game here. And he's just sniping drones, and these Reapers have been more than cost efficient right now. More drones dying. 3 queens down here are gonna push this back temporarily, but
Game time
that
does
one
save
queen
that
will get
one.
back.
Yeah, 28 health on that queen. He's putting it into the main, and the Reapers are coming back into the main. It looks like they're gonna end up getting it anyways if they push in here.
Yeah, Semper smells blood on this queen. He's gonna get more drones, at least 2 or 3 before these queens get here.
He's got 7 workers killed with these 3 Reapers.
8. This micro is insane here by Semper. He's playing this so beautifully. He doesn't overcommit to the Reapers. He only makes 3. Gets his factory out on time. The Hellions are on the way. Stim's on the way. This is textbook play by Semper. I mean, he's really, really shown how you can pick away at a Zerg player in TVZ.
Hmm. He
If I
hasn't
was a Terran
scouted
player,
this.
I'd be taking notes.
He hasn't scouted this Roach Horn though. He does scout it right now. Um, he's going back in to confirm. I bet he probably didn't click on it, but he sees the Roach Horn for sure. He's gonna know he needs some bunkers at home. He starts one up right now.
How
The
do you feel
Marauders
as a
are
Terran
done.
player when you scout a Roach Warren that is just about to finish? Are you a little more scared than usual? Do you think that you got it in the bag, that you scattered it in time, or what?
It depends on the build.
Mhm.
Semper's already got that Tech Lab factory, and he already had a Marauder in production, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be good against this. It's a two
On top of
base
all the drone kills as well. Oh man,
yeah,
more. This is ridiculous. This is some high level play
six.
here by Semper. He might lose a Reaper, but oh no,
Oh,
and
these
more
Hellions.
Hellions are coming
Oh
in.
my.
Oh no. Ooh, it hurts. It
Like
hurts.
scouting the Roach Horn is nice, but scouting it behind all of this economic damage, it's probably got to feel pretty good.
Oh my god, 28 workers and we're 8 minutes in. My chest is tight. Ah,
Uh,
it hurts.
so we see
Dealing with games like this versus Terran is just such a heartbreaker. It's more than frustrating, honestly. I mean, it just snowballs, like I said in the first few
yeah,
games. I mean, damage like
we
this with a player Semper's caliber, I mean, you're just gonna keep eating it over and over. It's so
so
difficult.
we see Semper up 5 workers with 3 mules and no third base here for game time. He also came with that Reaper, perfect timing, and scouted the lair starting. So he knows exactly what game time's going for here, and he just keeps destroying the economy of game time. Every time he tries to build up, these Hellions come in and knock him down a peg.
That's the biggest thing about playing against a Zerg player. If you make them reproduce drones and then you start pushing and producing behind it, I mean, it's just almost near impossible to hold because he really needs to remake this economy or he's not going to be able to afford to make the units he needs to hold his push that's going to come.
And Semper's sitting at home on 3 CCs. He's not doesn't feel the need to land that third CC at one of his expansions, but he's got a tank out. He's making a second tank. So any roaches that come in here are really shredded. He's got 2 bunkers. His upgrades are just now starting, but they're still on par with game times. He hasn't been able to afford them with all the economic damage he's taken. And as long as you stay even on upgrades with a roach player, you're golden as a Terran.
Mm. I like that. And as you pointed out, it's a great point. Semper's just super patient. Hasn't landed this third CC. He just keeps producing SCVs. He knows he's in a great spot. The Zerg has
Mm-hmm.
no third. 10 minutes in, he has 20 plus drone kills. Why go out of your way to try and be greedy? And these are things that myself I need to work on. I see this play and I get, inspired to kind of not be over the top greedy when you know you have a lead. And now 11 minutes in, he's finally floating his CC over. And I just think this is very, very smart play by Semper here.
And that's not even like it's not even that delayed. Usually the Terran takes their lands their third at about like 9-ish minutes. I mean that's a little bit
Yeah.
late, but given the economic damage he's done, he can
Yeah,
totally
more
afford it.
than, yeah. more than enough time just to delay it a little bit.
He
And then
even
vision on this
even grabs that
Overlord.
overlord.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Uh,
little things like that is what makes Semper such a great player. Taking nothing away here from game time. And it's just so hard to get yourself out of this situation when you lose so many drones this early. Looks like he's going to go for burrowed roaches here. He might be getting the tunneling claws once this finishes, but I do not see a layer. Oh, he has a layer done, so
Roach speed is just about done. So if he's gonna, and it's lining up pretty nicely with the 1-1 from game time. So he could hit a 1-1 Roach speed timing, but this drop is coming around from the side. So if he decides to push out with these Roaches, the drop is just going to destroy his economy, and he's stuck in this awkward position where he goes home and defends, or he just tries to counterattack into all these tanks.
yeah, very true. Even then, I mean, he's still at home right now, but he's going to be way out of position for this. A
Mm-hmm.
very, very good reaction time here by game time. Literally half a second. I couldn't even count to one Mississippi before he sent his roaches over there. But Semper's going to get. Oh, looks like he didn't even get a roach. A very, very solid defense here by game time, making sure that he can't get any defense damage done. And this is very impressive as a roach player. I mean, I think the weakest thing about Roach Hydra is how you can't defend all the drops going across the bases. Like
He's
Terran
he's
just starts to pick
definitely
you apart.
he's definitely holding really well, but the big thing is Semper is keeping his army at home, allowing him
Yeah.
to get this economy back up, make this little wall at his third base, going to make a really unfavorable position for any Roach attacks. Give him time to
Looks
reposition
like
his siege
coming
tanks.
coming in here by the 8 o'clock position here,
Hmm.
the 10 o'clock position rather. Looks like he's gonna come snipe some drones, and a roach speed is, I mean, tunneling claw is just about done. Looks like he's not gonna focus that. He's gonna try and get the queen and get out of here instead. And yeah, game
Yeah,
time
pulls.
is in huge trouble with this drop here at his third as well, losing more drones. Might even lose his third hatchery. If he loses his third hatchery, this is just game ending. Oh, and he does. Beautiful play here by Semper. Multitasking.
I've Roaches are really big, like supply inflators. When you start making roaches, your supply is a little bit higher than it normally is. But after all this economic damage, the supplies are actually relatively close. Um, it's dropping a little bit more for game time now as he's losing some of these drones of the natural. But his macro is not really slipping behind this.
Oh,
But
we got a huge counterattack here by these roaches. Are they gonna break the
mhm,
siege tanks? Looks like there's just enough marauders and bunkers to take care of this. Awesome hold here by center, and game time's just gonna have to GG out.
mhm.
A very thrilling game one, and credit to both players, especially Semper for playing so well and just picking his opponent apart. But game time as well for just coming out of that deficit to actually make it a very competitive game
Yeah,
because 20
I'm
something
really
drones. I mean, oh my lord. And this is all before 10 minutes. I mean, he lost so many.
I'm really impressed by how close that game was, given that uh, just the incredible economic damage that was taken by game time in the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's pretty crazy that game time was able to claw his way back into that game against Semper. I mean, Semper was in full control the entire game. Don't get me wrong, but against a lot of different players, that could have been a lot more one-sided than it was. Because at the end, I honestly thought those roaches might have broke it, but I didn't see the bunker at the bottom.
It was a
Very
really
good game
close.
nonetheless.
If he had hit a little bit earlier, he probably could have broken it. But the drops on the other side of the map were just doing crazy amounts of damage. So
Yeah, most definitely.
game time kind of end the game with that roach push, which just would have been really hard.
Mm. Awesome games though, nonetheless. I mean,
Yeah.
2VZ is
Um.
such a fun matchup. You never know where it's gonna go, especially when as a Protoss player, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm having a blast watching all these builds unfold.
We're going into Deadwing here, which is I'm really excited to see because it's likely that we're going to see a longer game than the one last time. So we're going to probably see less of a one-sided game early on, and it's going to go into a more even macro game. And I'm